Hello, welcome to Fair 101. My name's Jody Bestorn, Sedgwick County 4-H Youth Development Agent, and today we're going to be showing you how to attach your entry tags to all of the non-livestock type projects that you might be taking to the Sedgwick County Fair. First of all, everything needs a two-part entry tag. These are self-carboning tags which are available here at the Extension office. On this, you will put in your name, your club, your age, and how many years you've been in the project. If you have an older style entry tag, you'll also need to write your exhibitor number at the very top. This is how we key everything into the computer so that we can track your placings and then also figure your premium money that you will be getting for each of your exhibits. It doesn't matter if you have an old style or a new style, or even if yours look a little different color, that's okay. As long as it's two parts, leave them attached together at the top, and you'll want one of these for every exhibit that you take that is a non-livestock exhibit. All of them should have a hole punched in the corner, so that will make it easier to attach some of those entry tags to our assorted sizes of projects that you might be taking. Let's start down here with photography. Photography has some very specific things on how they would like it mounted. There is a video on our website which will give you all the detailed information, but I just wanted to show this to you today so you can see. If you're new to the project, we have these photo mat boards that you can purchase at our office. We also have these cellophane sleeves that you can put them inside, and it makes a nice exhibit and protects it when you go to the fair. So do watch that extra section. If you're going to be bringing vegetables to the fair, we recommend that you put it on a sturdy styrofoam plate or a small box, punch a hole in the side of the plate, and simply tie your entry tag onto the surface. Tape is not as an effective tool when you're taking things to the fair. Remember, it could be hot and humid. There could be lots of wind gusting through the exhibit building. So tie it on securely so that it stays with your exhibit, and people will then know where your exhibits are at. We do have two publications available on our website. One is on flowers, the other one is getting vegetables ready for the fair. Again, there's some very specific information that you will want to read to make sure you know the criteria of what you need to bring to the fair. These are also linked in our fair book. Moving on to arts and crafts, that can be some of the challenging exhibits to how do you get your name or exhibit tag attached. So for instance, this is a canvas painting that has been done, and it has a zigzag tooth on the back. That is okay. We have adapted our hangers to be able to hang these so they display nicely, but I really suggest you just put two little eye screws and a wire across the back so it's nice and secure. We will hang these on a chicken wire type frame, and so the more secure you can make it for us, the better your exhibit will come through during the process. I'd suggest that you tie your exhibit tag to that back wire, and then that way it can hang down in front of your exhibit item. People can see what you've gotten on your exhibit, and they will be able to see your name. Don't worry that it might be covering this up. That won't bother the judge at all. They'll simply move it out of the way. So think about how you might tie something on. That's the most secure method. Now, if you have a ceramic project like this fused glass piece, that can be a little more difficult because it's very slick on the back side. I would just put a piece of masking tape on the back, but make an X on the back of the exhibit through your ribbon or cord or string, and that way that's a little more secure if you put an X of tape on the back. And again, that still allows it to be seen so people will know what that exhibit is and won't have to handle it. When you think about foods, one of the requirements for the foods project is to have your recipe with your exhibit. I would recommend that you put your exhibit tag and your recipe in a little Ziploc type plastic bag. That way it's easy to open and get that information out for the judge, and it keeps it nice and clean. This would be your typical foods exhibit. You would put your items on a paper plate or a cardboard square, cut to the appropriate size. Again, a self-sealing bag is the best option. Saran wrap, as you know, gets all messed up when you try to uncover it and rewrap it. So we'd suggest something like a bag or even a bakery box if you have a large loaf of bread or a cake that doesn't really conveniently fit in a bag such as this. Then once you have those two parts together, simply staple the two plastic pieces together. That way nothing blows off, you don't have to worry about tape sticking, and it's a nice compact exhibit so you know that you have all the necessary parts and pieces ready for the judge. A baggie like this also comes in handy for your woodworking projects. One of the requirements for woodworking is that you include a sample of your plan or your actual plan how you made your item. So you would need to be to scale, so if your plan says it's going to be 7 inches long and 5 inches wide, then the judge is going to look at your plan and then they're going to measure it and make sure that you have followed your plan correctly. So again, putting your entry tag and your plan inside a Ziploc bag and then taping it to your exhibit item or tying it on. You can put a hole here and put a string through it and tie it onto your exhibit so it stays nice and secure with your items. We have some additional resources as well. For the Foods Project on our website, there's one called Preparing Food Items for the Fair. That's posted on our website. It has lots of hints and helps about how you might exhibit your best baked product for that. We also have a Fair 101 handout that explains the basic process of conference judging and how we go about the scheduling part of our exhibit judging. Everything in the two buildings, you will have an opportunity to sit down and visit one-on-one with the judge to tell with them about your project, how you did it, what you learned, what was hard, and this kind of explains how that process works. Some of these will be judged as you arrive at the fairgrounds. Others, there will be a sign-up sheet when you enter your items so you can select the time that works best for you. And finally, here's another example of sometimes a challenging project, our rockets. They too need a plan attached to them, and they also need to have the entry tag. We find it easiest on these to simply tie a string around the base where the fins go in, so that prevents it from slipping over but still allows access for the judge to look at your rocket item. So that's another way you can tie it on there to make sure that it's nice and secure. So if you have something soft-sided like a garment, a pillow, a quilt, something knitted or crocheted, you can use the same basic process, only I would suggest instead of a tie, you would put a safety pin through this hole and then you could pin it securely to your item. Again, that will keep it from blowing off and becoming detached from your exhibit. Our specifications also ask that everybody create a sort of sewn-in label that you can also put on the back neck of your garment or on the waistband or on some other part of your quilt or pillow. Again, just as a double check in case the entry tag would get separated, we'd know what your item is. So this is simply a piece of scrap fabric. It doesn't have to match my item. And then you just turn it over on the back side and write your name and your club on it, and again pin it to your exhibit. So that way it's a double check for us as we go through the judging process with those soft-sided or fiber type exhibits. I wish you all the best as you get ready for this year's fair. Remember, it's a learning experience and you are asking for another person's opinion on one day about your project. We know that this is not something that everybody always agrees with, but as good sportsmen, we need to take the information and learn from those and look at something from another person's viewpoint and then strive the next year to make those improvements on your project so you can continue to make the best better. Good luck at the fair.